Okay, welcome everybody to tonight's Shaar haBitachon. I apologize for the change in quality. Tonight, we want to say a very, very special thank you to Yosefa and Benjamin Wood-Eisenberg. They sponsored tonight's share, and on behalf of all of us here, because if it wasn't for them, the share wouldn't be happening. So a huge, huge thank you to Yosef and Benjamin Wood-Eisenberg. All of us give them a round of applause. Tonight's share is Leule Nishmas Chaim Alav Shalom Ben Shimon Yisrael Halevi Shechye, and for Refuah Shalema for Yosef Simcha Chaim Ben Sarachana. May he have Refuah Shalema right now. It's a child. And we should all take our Bitachon and use it to say, Ad Masai, we believe and we know and we believe that Mashiach is going to come right now, and everyone that needs a Refuah Shalema, and everyone needs the whatever brachas they need, it should happen right now. So as per my usual, I like to start with a story. So I actually want to share a beautiful piece. I had a hard time. Yes, you can hear me. I had a bit of a hard time preparing tonight's shir, not just because my apartment is completely upside down, because it is completely upside down. It was a surprise that so one of my children had a regular checkup, and as part of the regular checkup, they do a blood work. And when they did the blood work, it turned out that the lead in the blood work was high, which then led us down a very intense process where the Department of Health shows up and knocks on your door. Well, they call you incessantly, and then they show up and knock on your door, and then they call you incessantly some more. And basically they do a full apartment inspection. They found that there were several places in our apartment that had lead in the paint. And then it's a long process where contractor comes, they completely remodel the areas that have lead, they take everything out. They don't just like paint, because you can't paint over it. They completely gut the whole area. And so we've been half homeless, half not for several times over the last few months. You can still hear me. Yes, you're good. Okay. We've also had to obviously do checkups and make sure that our child is healthy and safe and all good. So it's just been a lot. It's just been a lot. So I feel that sometimes we discuss Bitachon as this thing we should do, or this thing that person that's struggling with parnasa should do, or that person that is going through that hard time over there can do. And sometimes we need to take Bitachon and realize it's in my front yard, my backyard, my bedroom, my living room, my kids' red room. And today was kind of trying. Yesterday I was half homeless. So I spent the whole day basically at the Limit Center, and then they didn't actually finish the amount that they were meant to. So we had this whole plan to move things from one room to another room, because they were meant to have finished one room. And then meanwhile, we still had to move everything out of that other room without having the first room to put things in. And it was a lot. And then coming home with the kids, it was just a lot. So I sat at the Limit Center today, thinking about, preparing for today's share, and thinking, this is kind of what I'm living through right now. It was definitely very uncomfortable. It was also kind of scary to find out that your child has high lead levels. But in reality, Bitachon, and that's what we're going to learn today, Bitachon isn't just about learning it and having the concept Bitachon is about living it and feeling it. And let's see how we learn through this and how this applies to the story that I'm currently living with. So we are now on page, I went ahead a little bit. Okay, we are now on page 71 here in the book Gate of Trust, Shaar Bitachon, published by Kahas. So we're on page 71, and you guys can follow along, and we'll begin. So last week we left off that as much as sometimes we see that certain thing was a change in nature. So for example, the nature of water is that it should keep flowing. But Hashem made a change in nature for Kriyas Yam Suf, which we actually just learned recently in the parshas that we're going through. And through that change, Hashem changed the nature. But in essence, what we learned last week was that even that change, Hashem had decided during the time of creation and even before creation that change would happen. So he embedded into the nature of water that at a certain point, I don't know the year, I wish I knew the year by heart, but like at year 3000 or 5000, no, we're not 5000, 2000 so-and-so, the nature of water would change, and suddenly it would break up into two separate walls, and all of these things would happen, and fruit trees would grow and the birds would sing. And so Hashem put it into nature what was already going to happen later on. So that's what we left off last week. Now on page 71, complete trust, no lip service. Having said that the first introduction necessary to haBitachon is full comprehension of how only Hashem poses all 7 qualities that are needed for placing trust in another being. The author now continues with the second introduction. A person must internalize the fact that Hashem knows all of his thoughts and deeds and misdeeds, and knows if a person's bitachon is genuine or merely lip service. So last section, we learned that everything that not just we should learn the fact that Hashem has all these 7 qualities, we should prove it in our essence, in our understanding. We should prove that Hashem has all these qualities. And not only that, but nothing else has these qualities. Now in our second introduction, so the second section of this chapter, is that a person must internalize the fact that Hashem knows all of his thoughts. So not only is Hashem have all of these things, but now Hashem really sees us. Hashem really sees our actions. Hashem really sees our thoughts. Hashem really sees whether we actually feel calm or whether we struggle. And when it comes down to it, Hashem is able to tell the difference. It's funny, I'm like processing it as I say it, but Hashem is really able to tell, how well did you handle this test? How well did you handle this struggle? Were you actually feeling confident and comfortable with Hashem? Were you actually feeling confident and comfortable with what was going on in your life? Or did you just say so? Did you just learn the book and close the book and put the book away? So let's continue. There's an asterisk after the word misdeeds. So now let's go down and let's see the asterisk where it says, God knows all of his thoughts, deeds, and misdeeds. Although the concept of Hashem's omnipresence was mentioned earlier among the list of 7 qualities that a person must believe that Hashem possesses, it is repeated here because here it is referring specifically to Hashem's knowledge of the behavior of the person vis-a-vis his service of Hashem and how genuine his bitachon is. So not only did we learn previously that Hashem knows everything and Hashem is everything and Hashem has power over everything, but now we're bringing it in, not in regards to inspiring ourselves to have bitachon, but to prove a point that Hashem knows the truth. Hashem knows how hard you tried, or Hashem knows how good you're doing in regards to really feeling that calm, really feeling that his presence in everything that you're going through. And again, we're not trying to do, I mean, technically this is a Musar Sefer, so this is Musar, but the way we're learning in here is not meant to be a Musar like Hashem is searching with a magnifying glass and he's going to punish you for not. That's not where we're headed in this, with this context. Okay, back to the regular text. Oh, let's just read that bottom line, because I just said there's not much, so let's read the bottom line. God is watching over you and nothing is concealed from him. So let's continue from there. So back to the regular text. The second introduction, the person should know, and it should be clear to him, that the Creator is watching over him and that nothing is concealed from him. Neither those actions that the person performs in public and are revealed to others to see, nor those actions that the person performs in private and are hidden from others. Even his thoughts are not concealed from Hashem, neither those that are hidden from other people, nor those that are apparent through his speech and actions. Hashem also knows if the person's reliance on him is wholehearted or not. I actually want to tell a cute anecdote for anyone who's a mother or anyone who's ever watched children. I was once visiting, I was it must have been maybe a month or two postpartum with one of my kids. And I was visiting a mother who had many, many, many more kids. And she had invited me over and she said, you know, like being postpartum can get kind of lonely. If you want to come, you know, after school and come hang out, you could totally come. So I decided, okay, fine, I'll take you up on the offer. So I came and it was really beautiful to see. I grew up in a family that didn't have so many kids. So it was really beautiful to see a mother in action with several kids at home and the juggling act and everyone playing and trying to do homework and snacks. And it was really incredible to see. And it was very inspirational. And at the end of the whole thing, I said to her, I said, you know, I'm so grateful I got to watch this, you know, this beautiful, like your afternoon at home. It was so nice to see it and so inspirational. And she said, I have to be completely honest. A part of it was really thanks to you. You were here, your kids were here, everybody just behaved extra beautiful. Everyone just behaved extra kind. Everyone just behaved extra behaved. And it's very interesting how much our lives change when we have someone else around, when we feel that we're on show, when we feel that we have to present ourselves, and not just what happens, you know, behind closed doors or behind, you know, when we feel like no one's really watching. And in a certain sense, it's really powerful that we have this concept of Hashem being with us at all times. I hope it's for excitement, but when I wake up in the morning, not every day, but many days, when I wake up in the morning and I put my hands together and I say, Maida'ani, I get this mixture between, whoa, you know, as it says in Shulchan Aruch, that like Hashem is hovering over me and watching. And at the same time, it's not a fear. It's not a, oh my goodness, now I'm doing everything wrong. Oh my gosh, he's literally watching me to, you know, come pick out on me and find all the horrible things I'm going to do for today. But it's more of a zest, it's more of an excitement. Whoa, I have a mission for today. There is something that needs to get done. Hashem is watching me because he's so excited to see the mission I'm going to accomplish today. Today, I have something I need to do, and not just something, but I have a lot of things. I have my kids I want to raise. I have my husband I want to be with and take care of and build our future together. I have living Chassidus that I know needs me. It needs me to keep going. And I have all of these projects and all of these things. And I wake up with this, wow. And so my Maida'ani is Hashem is watching me, but not out of fear, not out of dread. it's more of out of excitement. Hashem is watching me and he's waiting to see what's going to be with today. And I feel like this is kind of what we're discussing. Hashem is here and Hashem is going to watch and Hashem is with us at every moment. And not only does he see he hears what we say, he sees what we do, but he's also with us in our thoughts. And Hashem is there and he can tell how much we're living. And this is a bit of a push for not just learning, but also for living. Living Chassidus is all about taking that motion and live with it. So, okay, going back to the real text, going back inside the Sefer. There's an asterisk where it says reliance on him is wholehearted or not, right? So God also knows if the person's reliance on him is wholehearted or not. So let's look down at the footnote on page 71, which we're going to turn the page in a second. Hashem also knows if the person's reliance on him is wholehearted or not. This second, turn the page to page 72, preface mandates that for the benefit of trust to be manifest, the trust must be real. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here at Living Chassidus. It's not just learn, don't just do lip service. It bothers me sometimes. Sometimes I see all these signs, you know, did I say my chetas today? Did I say Rambam? Did I say Hayomim? Did I say it? It's not just lip service. Don't just say it. Now it's your turn to learn it, to live it. So in order for that trust, in order for the benefits of the trust, in order for Bitachon to really work, you have to feel it. It has to be felt. You have to really put yourself into it. It needs to be real. A person cannot pay lip service to his trust, saying he has Bitachon, but fails to contemplate what he is saying or truly mean it. According to the Paslachim, this preface mandates that a person should know that Hashem is observing him to see if his trust is truly complete. Strengthening trust. Hashem could have given the Jews in the desert the man for a month or two at one time, right? So Hashem could decide to give everything. Hashem could give us, you know, it says that at Rosh Hashanah, all of our finances are set, right? That's it. Hashem made a decision. So no, give it to us in a bank account right after Rosh Hashanah. They're fine. Okay, let's wait till Yom Kippur. Let's wait till Simchat Torah, Shmini Atzeres, Simchat Torah. Fine. Let's really, those are the last few chances to really change over the decree. And here comes Hashem, and he could just drop it in our bank account. We could live with it. And that could just be, that's it. You're done. So now let's bring it back to the story. So why then did he give it daily? Why did Hashem give man daily? It was in order to train them in Bitachon. They had to develop their trust in Hashem daily, that he would provide them with their needs for that day. So why is it that Hashem doesn't give us our full paycheck for the entire year, the entire salary for the entire year, right after Simchat Torah? Because Hashem's actually doing us a favor. Hashem is giving us the ability to really live with that bitachon every single day. Every day we get to be grateful, and every day we get to live with Hashem's presence. If he would just give it to us, then maybe we'd forget that Hashem's around. You know, we're good. That's fine. I'm all fine and dandy. I don't need anything. I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone's help. But because we live with it every single day we think about Hashem, and every single day we have an opportunity to change the decree. We have an opportunity to make Bitachon real in our lives. Back to the text. Well, a footnote. The Alter Rebbe, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi, explains Emunah as follows. The main thing is for the person to accustom himself to habituate his thoughts continuously, that they are imprinted in his heart and mind, that everything he sees with his eyes, the heavens and the earth, and all they contain, all constitute the outer garments of the King, the Holy One, blessed be he. So 1 second. Let's rewind. What does the Alter Rebbe want us to do? The Alter Rebbe wants us to constantly look at every single thing before us and see not only is this Hashem, but this is the outer layer of Hashem. This is the external piece of Hashem. And when we have that concept, when we have that idea that the computer in front of me, the water bottle in front of me, the table in front of me, every single one of me, you, my kids, the guys that came to paint my house today, all of them, it is all Hashem. And not just Hashem, but it's an external shell of Hashem. It's an outer aspect of Hashem, which means that the real Hashem, not that one's not, whatever, you understand what I'm saying. That the true essence of Hashem is even deeper than that. Now back to the text. In this way, he will also constantly remember their inwardness and vitality, which is Hashem. This is also implicit in the word emunah, faith, which is a term that it also indicates training. The person accustoms himself like a craftsman who trains in his hands and so forth. The word emunah is etymologically rooted in the word uman, artisan. In order to be successful, an artisan with a talent for painting, pottery, and the like must habituate and train his hands. The same is true of faith in Hashem. Every Jew possesses faith. However, right, so we all have this level of emunah. However, for this faith to be actualized and a person's actions be in consonance with it, he must habituate and train himself to recognize godliness in everything. So what did we just say? Hashem could have given every single person, all the Jews, whether it's the Yidden in the Midbar, in the desert, whether it's for them, Hashem could have given them man for a month or two, all at once. So too for us. Hashem could give us our full paycheck. He decided it for us already by Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. We could have changed it by Sukkot. We could have changed it by Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah, right? So he decided for us. He could have given it to us all right away. Why did he not? Why do we have to do this every single day? Every day we have to go to work, whether it's, you know, I don't think everybody gets a paycheck every day, but we do have to do whatever work we need to do on that day to get a paycheck at every 2 weeks or at the end of the month. Every single day we need to do this work. The Alter Rebbe is explaining to us because we're like artisans. We have to practice this work. We have to not just learn Shaar Bitachon once a week and hope to live off of the fumes from the shir throughout the week. We have to practice, not just lip service. We have to practice the actual work of living with this every single day. And through doing that every day, we can actually get better at it. My son, one of my sons, he picked up, this is a crazy story, but over Zoom, over Corona school year, we found the program. A huge shout out to Daniel and Racheli Berry. Daniel Berry runs a program for children where he teaches piano over Zoom. He's very, very, very talented. And he did these videos, and we have a keyboard at home already. A huge shout out to my sister-in-law who gave it to us. And he just went at it, and he went at it, and he went at it, and he just practiced every single day. At one point, he was like struggling a little bit because it wasn't working out so well. So we told him, you know, if you practice every day, you can get a little piece of chocolate after your practice. So he did, and he picked it back up, and he went and he went and he went. About 6 months later, literally every single, I mean, excluding Shabbos, but every single day he practiced, and now he knows the keyboard. He doesn't know the notes, but he knows the keyboard. I don't even know how to call it. He thinks of a song, he thinks of a niggun, and he goes on the keyboard and he just plays. He knows it up, down, left, right, and he can just play it. And that's what it takes. We should have that with our bitachon. We should have that with our emunah. We should realize that every single part of our lives is Hashem. Every single aspect that happens is Hashem. Every artifact that happens and that is before us right here, right now is Hashem. And why does Hashem make us do this every day? So we practice and we practice and we practice. And we make it not just lip service, we make it real. We live, which is the whole living Chassidus message. We live with our Bitachon. Okay, back to the footnote. Baruch Okay, the following is a letter from the Lubavitcher Rebbe to a recipient who he felt was lacking in trust. Just now I dispatched a telegram to you in which is written, I am extremely surprised at your low spirits. You should follow the directives of two medical specialists and strengthen your trust in Hashem, who will certainly restore you to your former health. I wait to hear good tidings with blessings for a speedy recovery. The Rebbe then continues, a person studies regarding divine providence, Hashgacha Pratis, but when it comes to practical application, where is the trust? You should study Shaar haBitachon, the gate of trust, in Chavetz HaLevavos 3 or 4 times. It is self-understood that I do not mean that you should study it all in one time, but over the course of a few weeks. So I want to give a shout out to one of our members who not only does she join this year, but every single morning she literally she grabs a small piece and she reads it over and she tries to internalize it. And it literally says here that it's our hope, it's the Rebbe's hope for us that we should learn it 3 or 4 times. I mean, at least for this person, and I think we could also take that upon ourselves, that if we take up even not over a few weeks, but even whatever amount of time you're able to, take this book and don't just learn it, try and live it. Okay, in another letter, the Lubavitcher Rebbe writes, you must be strong in your trust that Hashem will lead you to a proper path and bring you success in your holy work. And if doubts regarding this enter your mind, this does not indicate a doubt regarding your ability. Rather, this indicates a weakness in your trust. And the remedy for this is to study Shaar haBitachon and Chavetz HaLevavos, and more generally to be bound to the tree of life, the study of Chassidus, and to participate. Okay, wait, one second. Let me rewind because this is a whole other for bringing. 1 second. So sometimes we feel doubts. Sometimes we question ourselves. Sometimes we question our abilities. I know many times, it's actually an interesting story. I was just at the Kinnis and I was speaking to somebody about living Chassidus and our shlichus, the Chabad house that we run here in Crown Heights. And she said to me, wow, it was 2 shlichus. They were saying, wow, that is so needed. That is so special. It's so important. One of them even said, she goes, I never wanted to send my kids, my single daughters, to Crown Heights for Shidduchim because there was nothing here for them. What are they going to live in a basement all by themselves and feel lonely? And the other one turns to me, she goes, I wish you were here 8 years ago when I had sent somebody to Crown Heights and she got lost. She was very sad. She was very lonely. And there was no one here for her. And I just smiled. And then I said, yes, I understand. And after she left, the incredible, wonderful Adina, who was next to me, or I'm trying to remember if it was Adina or Rachel. I'm pretty sure it was Adina. Shout out to both of them for coming to do the booth at the Kinnis with me. Anyway, so one of them turned to me and she goes, what would have happened? Something like, what would have happened if she would have known that you were living Chassidus was here 9 years ago? And it's very funny because living Chassidus was there 9 years ago, and the 8th year, 8 years ago, when this person sent somebody, I technically was here, but I had so much self-doubt I had so much self-doubt about living chassidus. I had so much self-doubt about my abilities. I had so much self-doubt about publicizing what I do that I literally missed that opportunity to help that person that was living in Crown Heights. And many times, and I'm going to speak to every single one of you, you have incredible abilities. You have incredible skills. You have incredible talents. You have incredible slichus from Hashem, slichus from the Rebbe that the Rebbe put you and guided you and sent you off to do your particular slichus. And so many times we miss out on that opportunity because we have self-doubt. We question ourselves, we question our abilities, we think twice before we speak. We're too afraid to ask a question. We're too afraid to make the next move. And what is the Rebbe telling us here? That if doubts regarding this enter your mind, this does not indicate a doubt regarding your ability. Rather, this indicates a weakness in your trust. Sometimes we forget to bring Hashem into the picture. Hashem put me in this world to do this thing. Geh weiter. Let's keep going. Let's move forward. Let's keep going. Don't second question yourself. If you know and you have clarity that this is what you're meant to do according to halacha and what you're meant to do according to, again, we're not talking about doing something dangerous, something silly, something against halacha, something that if you're mashpia, your mother would be like, oh my goodness, what have you done? Then maybe let's ask for advice, making sure we're going in the right direction. But if this is going in the right direction, it's a good thing to do. Go. Bring Hashem back into the picture. Hold his hand. He's holding yours, and go forward. Now, what is the remedy for this? It's to study Shaar haBitachon. And what does our Rebbe say? To study the study of chassidus and to participate in a Hasidic farbrengen with genuine Hasidic joy on a frequent basis, to be happy and to make others happy. I want to make a shout out for an incredible book called Shaar. I think it's Shaar the Bucket Filler. Yeah, Shaar the Bucket Filler. Many times when we're hoping to make ourselves happy, we go and there's a whole controversial thing about whatever. Self-care. Self-care can be very good. It could be very wonderful and beautiful. And self-care can also be very selfish. So making sure that your self-care also involves, as the Rebbe says, frequent farbrengens with genuine Hasidic joy, and working on yourself to be happy and to make others happy. When you are trying to fill other people's buckets, it fills your bucket too. When you're thinking about others and making a priority to care for others, your life gets better and happier as well. Okay. I apologize. My life is a little nuts right now, and I'm sure you can hear my kids playing in the back right now. Okay. This is real living chassidus, living the chassidus that we learn. Okay, now these psukim are now quoted to support this concept. As the pasuk says in Tehillim, the Lord knows and the thoughts of man, and they are vanity. And as it says, surely he understands the inner recesses of a person's heart. And as it says, for you alone know the hearts of all people. Right? So now as we learn that our author generally makes a statement, then he brings in psukim to prove the point. These psukim all speak about how Hashem knows the thoughts of man, as if he is aware of the thoughts of man, then all the more so must he be aware of man's actions as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we're on page 73. So not only, even though he learns people's thoughts, how much more so, not he learns, he sees people's thoughts, how much more so our actions. When this becomes clear to the person, oh, wait, sorry, I skipped an asterisk. As the pasuk says, Paslachem explains why all three psukim are necessary. Actually, I'm gonna skip that one. Let's just keep going. Okay. Back to the regular text, page 73. When this becomes clear to the person who relies on Hashem, then he will understand that it is improper to claim that he is a person who relies on Hashem, may he be exalted, as a result of his verbal expression without true reliance on him in his heart and in private. If he merely recites having bitachon, then he will be on the level of those about whom the pasuk says, with his mouth and with his lips he honors me, but he distances his heart from me. Awareness of this prerequisite will encourage the person to have more than a superficial bitachon. Instead, it will be a heartfelt and genuine. So, if we know this, if we know that Hashem truly sees our thoughts and he sees our action, I'm sorry, if Hashem is truly aware of our thoughts and what we're really thinking, are we really thinking, whoa, no one's taking care of me, or I have to rely on someone else, or something else is going to take care of me? We're attributing our paycheck to our boss. We are attributing the latest donation only to the person who donated it and not to Hashem. We are attributing, as we're going to learn very soon, we're attributing our health to our actions, or we're attributing our health to the doctor, or attributing, when we're giving all of ourselves. And again, we spoke about it earlier in Shaar haBitachon, that it doesn't mean don't be grateful for what they do, but see them as a messenger of Hashem. Hashem has your refuah, Hashem has your everything resolved. And whoever he is, whether it's your boss or whether it's the donor or whether it's a messenger of Hashem, he does get a thank you, kind of like the server who serves your food gets a thank you. But we all know that he wasn't the one that cooked it. Okay, so taking that into consideration, let's go down to the asterisk where it says, when this becomes clear to the person who relies on Hashem. Okay, so when this becomes clear to the person who relies on Hashem, when he realizes this, he cannot claim that Hashem did not fulfill his desires despite his bitachon. Instead, he will realize that his bitachon was not genuine, and that this lack of genuineness was the reason why his desires were not fulfilled by Hashem. So, if we're trying to practice bitachon and we're trying to do something in order to accomplish a change, if we're trying to, if let's say something is meant to happen, something not good is meant to happen, and we want that decree to be changed, and if it's not really changing, one of the things we can look at is our bitachon just lip service? Am I just making posts on social media, or am I just talking and talking and talking? But when it comes down to it, I don't really trust in Hashem. I don't really live with that concept. I haven't taken the book and internalized it. I've just read the book. That might be something to look at and see if maybe we can live with this concept a little more, or a little deeper, or a little more genuinely. So, okay, now the next asterisk, looking down, it is improper to claim that he is a person who relies on Hashem, may he be exalted, as a result of his verbal expression, without true reliance on him in his heart. This is most notable when we recite in our daily prayers various psukim that express man's trust in and dependence on Hashem. I just realized I prepared for this shiur at the Limit Center, and I was hoping to teach it at the Limit Center. So therefore my siddur, where I actually found these psukim and others that have bitachon in them, is left at the Limich Siddur Center. But I'm sure everyone can take a moment in tomorrow's davening of Shacharis to really look out for the word boiteach or bitachin or bitchu or anything that has that shirish. And then when you find it, which is what I did today, take a moment and look at the psukim or the actual pasuk that has that word. It was really powerful. A really, really, really powerful exercise. And I actually did it in a siddur, and I like underlined it so that tomorrow or the next time I use that siddur, it'll give me a little reminder. This is what the pasuk is talking about. And one of the psukim I found was I think it's Al Tiftechu V'Ndivim V'Vein Adam She'ein Teshua. I don't have the siddur right. Yes, highlight the word trust. Exactly. Correct. Highlight the word trust, and that'll give you, it'll reboost your kavana, your thinking about this concept during your davening. Because davening is actually one of the ways we're meant to internalize these types of things. If when you're davening and not just lip service, exactly what we're saying now, if your davening is not just lip service, but you're actually thinking about what you're saying. And I'm not saying go think about deep kavanas and the spheres and atzilis. When you see the word trust, when you see the word bitachon or anything that has the shirish of bitachon, if you take a moment and just pause, what did I just say? You will actually see that davening will have so much more meaning. And that will actually turn on your Hashem glasses. I don't have the, oh, no, I don't. I don't have the living for this. Here, 1 second. There you go. Your Hashem glasses, as you can see in the screen with the Living Chassidus logo, you will start to see the world through a new lens, through a new perspective. You'll start to see the world through Hashem's perspective, and you'll actually live with the bitachon. Will it be perfect? No. But at least as we said earlier, as the Alter Rebbe wants us to remember that Hashem wants us to work on this every single day, and to work on it a little bit or even a lot of it every single day. You'll become a good piano player. You'll become a good keyboard player. You'll be proficient at bitachon. The keyboard piano was just the mashal, was just the example. But okay, so here are some of the examples that the siddur has. For example, the prayer, our soul yearns for Hashem, for he is our rescuer and protector. For in his holy name do we trust. God, may your kindness be upon us as we have hoped for you, our words from, or as we had hoped for you. Okay, that's the end of that thought. Or words from the liturgy such as, for in his holy, great, and awesome name did he trust, and give a great reward to all those who trust in your name sincerely. So we can trust in Hashem sincerely. The person must ensure that he is truly aware of what he is saying and mean it. And I want to give this challenge for everybody. Tomorrow, as is Hashem, during your davening, you can even take a few minutes tonight before you go to bed. Flip through your siddur, flip through the things that you say, and I want to say something about davening in a minute, but flip through the things that you say regularly and see if you can find the word bitachon, see if you can find the word trust, and just underline it, even with a pencil, or I actually have a separate siddur that I write in, and I like I have one siddur that is a siddur I don't write in, and I have a siddur I do write in. So you can do that or whatever makes you feel comfortable. And make a point to really highlight it or underline it, and that'll refocus you. And at that point, think, wow, how can I trust Hashem? What is this pasuk saying? How can I bring that bitachon and live with it every day? And then I want to make a piece that's very, very, very important. Take a deep breath. What am I stressed out about? What am I struggling with today? How can I apply this to the struggle I'm going through? I'll give you an example. I'm really struggling about the fact that I'm doing a share in my house, which I haven't done in a very long time, and it's very loud. And I'm wondering, the recording on the Spotify, the recording on YouTube is just going to be terrible. No one can hear properly. People are judging, and I'm all stressed out about it. Or I'm trying not to be. That's what I'm trying to show you. And now I just need to take a deep breath and think. Hashem's in charge. Hashem made it that there should be lead in the paint in my apartment. Hashem made it that my child's blood lead test came out high. Hashem decided that there needed to be construction in my apartment. Hashem also decided that they surprised us on Monday saying we have to paint your entire apartment. And Hashem decided I should be half homeless and basically having to move from room to room or not really be here all day, every day for about 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days. 4 days. And Hashem decided all of this. Hashem decided that my kids should be having a wonderful time in the bath and therefore is insanely loud. Hashem also decided that my husband has to be on a very important meeting on Zoom in the other room. And we live in a Crown Heights apartment that is itty bitty, teeny weeny. So I'm sure you can hear him in the background. And Hashem decided all of this. And through that, living Chassidus shall continue. It shall go on. And I hope that everyone appreciates what was taught. And I hope that everyone can take these lessons for themselves in their own lives and think, Hashem decided whatever it is I'm going through, now it's my turn to make it good. Now it's my turn to see him, to see his hand in it, and to trust, to know that it is him. That's emunah. The knowledge that it's Hashem, that's emunah. Now, how am I going to feel about it, and what am I going to do about it? That's when Bitachon kicks in. How do I react to this? That's where you have your opportunity to live with Bitachon. That's where you have your opportunity to give it up to Hashem. Whatever happens to this recording, whatever happens up next for Living Chassidus, whether you guys choose to join me next week and trust me with the most valuable of your possessions, which is your time. I can never give back your time. So the fact that you're choosing to listen to this and be here with us together, learning Shaar Bitachon, I appreciate it. And I wonder, and now I can not stress out about it because Hashem decided all of these things, and now I can just live with it and do the best that I can. As the Rebbe said, this does not indicate a doubt regarding your ability. Rather, this indicates a weakness in your trust. I need to just trust in Hashem. So I want to I think this is a good point to stop because we're about to start a new section. I want to again thank Yosefa and Benjamin Wood-Eisenberg for the incredible zchus of your sponsorship for tonight's shir. And I want to repeat the names. The names that we can all daven for is for Liulei Nishmat Chaim Alav Shalom Ben Shimon Yisrael Halevi Shechie, and for Refuah Shlema Yosef Simcha Chaim Ben Sarachana. I want to bench every single one of you that you shouldn't have anything that is troubling for you, that you shouldn't have anything that is worrying for you. And if Chas v'shalom, there is something that is troubling, that is worrying for you, that Hashem should help you. You should have full emunah that Hashem decided that it is what it is, and you should have bitachon that it can change, and you don't have to live with stress, and you don't have to live with worry. You just have to bring Hashem. Wear your Hashem glasses, as you can see in the logo. Wear your Hashem glasses. Put them on by learning about bitachon. Put them on by davening, and continue. Geh weiter. Let's keep going. Keep on moving. We'll bring Mashiach right now. Chaim. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording. And if anybody has any questions, it will not be recorded, but I will see if it makes sense to answer them on recording.